Jess, what have we got on today?
Oh, you're recording.
What have you got on today? What are you doing today? What's so exciting that you're doing today?
I am speaking for the Country Women's Association.
Yeah, so the CWA.
Yeah. About my Tourettes and FND. And about how it impacts me.
Yep.
So just go do a speech and whatnot.
Yeah, a bit exciting, a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this. Alright, shall we try and calm down a little bit before we get there?
Yeah.
Alright.
We have our guest speakers here today, but I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Lauren to introduce them to you today.
They are your friends.
Thank you, ladies.
Behave yourself.
So this morning we have the honour and privilege of hearing from Chloe and her mum Cherie. I came across them from TikTok actually, which I'd only just joined because someone told me it was an awesome app, and then come across Chloe and her incredibly tough journey. And Cherie is a support worker in the Southwest as well. So yeah, these ladies are absolutely amazing. They have reached thousands, I think even millions now on TikTok following and reposting and sharing. So they're all about education and yeah. So without that, I'd like to welcome Chloe and Cherie.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm 20 years old and I have Tourette's syndrome and FND. Tourette's is a neurological disorder that has to do with sorry.
So Tourette's is a neurological disorder and it affects her motor and vocal, it's called tics. So what you're seeing now is vocal and motor, so it actually affects her whole body and her every day-to-day life. So tics are involuntary movements and involuntary vocal.
Wow.
So Chloe also has...
Hey, Chloe.
Chloe also has, with her tics, it's called coprolalia. So coprolalia is where they say vulgar words or vulgar gestures. So if you think of it as like you stub your toe, like you kick your toe, your first reaction isn't, oh, sugar and spice, that tickles. So it comes out as, you know, yeah. So those words are either already in her vocabulary or it's words that she does hear. So another part of the tics is called echolalia. So that's where she will repeat words. So tics are very subjective. So if you say something to her while she's ticking, or if she sees something, that will become a tic or can become a tic. So those tics can last either for that period of ticking, or it could last for days, or it can then come back months later. So when she first started ticking, she seen a little rubber ducky in someone's car, and that became a tic for months and then disappeared and then came back every now and then. So when she's ticking, every now and then she'll say something about a duck.
Fucking duck.
Yeah. So say something to her while she's ticking, she will then pick it up, and that's what she will end up ticking about.
It's a duck.
So a lot of people think that she's faking it because we say that they're involuntary words, but then she uses those words in context. It doesn't mean it's what she's thinking, and it doesn't mean like intrusive thoughts. So Ra was her cousin was over, and her cousin sit there and she's like Ra, like because she was doing this with her hands. So her cousin went Ra like a dinosaur. So now that is a tic. What's it got on there? How does it affect your day-to-day life?
It can get very annoying when it comes to ticking daily. and even simple things like trying to talk is difficult when I'm wow.
When she's ticking, so obviously she can't get words out. Or sometimes the tics will take over and say other things. So it does, and obviously she has a lot of movement tics as well, so it does affect the muscles in her neck, her back, her shoulders, her legs. So she does go see a chiro fortnightly
Every second week.
at the moment, and every time it's like, he goes, she's tired again, and it's like, well, it's a bit hard. So
He says that my muscles feel like that of a bodybuilder. They're that tight.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with tics is Chloe doesn't tick 24/7. So people are under the misconception, they'll see her, like when we go live on TikTok, they will see her and they're like, oh, has she still got Tourette's? Well, you don't tick 24/7. You have bursts where she'll tick every day, but she'll have bouts of tics. So she knew she was coming here today, so her tics get set off by emotions.
Can I have a cup of tea?
That's a tic. She can see your cup. Yeah. So that's also us learning what's a tic and what's not a tic. So sometimes she will say,
Tea.
a cup of tea, and then she'll go, no, I don't really want one. And then she'll argue with herself because her tics are saying she wants something.
I want a cup of tea. And I'm trying to say that, I don't want, yes I do.
Yes, but she ends up arguing with herself, which again, a lot of people are like, oh, that's not real. But it's obviously, it's neurological. It's all in her brain.
Wow.
So people are also like, oh, she's had it from birth. Chloe actually hasn't. So when Chloe was 11 years old, she actually fell 10 feet out of a tree and hit her head. When she was then rushed to Bunbury Hospital, she had an MRI. They said everything was fine.
Wow.
The next morning, she had a seizure and stopped breathing. So then the doctors resuscitated her. She then had another seizure.
Don't cry.
She then had another seizure and needed resuscitating.
Wow.
Then when they went for an MRI, she had another seizure and needed resuscitating. She was not by yourself, bub.
I'm just gonna sit down.
Yeah. She then needed resuscitating. So then they basically sedated her, airlifted her, and sent her off to PMH. Which was then came back that she sustained a concussion. So after other scans, they said she had sustained a brain injury, but that was all that we were given. There was no diagnosis. There was no, we couldn't use that for anything. It's just she's got a brain injury, and that was it. Then between 11 and 16, so the paediatrician basically said that Chloe, from that fall, Chloe's brain was already like an egg, is already cracked. It wasn't broken, but it was already cracked. So then from the age of 11 to 16, anything traumatic that happened to Chloe or Chloe felt traumatic, just cracked it further and cracked it further. Until she ended up witnessing me get assaulted at our volleyball game. So by one of mum.
My ex-girlfriend's mum.
Yeah, so she's got bipolar and not medicated. So she skitzed out and assaulted me. Unfortunately, Chloe witnessed that. And then on the way home, Chloe kept going, shuddering. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, I don't know. It's like someone keeps walking over my grave. The next morning, she was just ticking like this.
You don't copy me.
Then
It's not nice.
it's not nice.
It's not nice.
And then every day she became more tics, more vocal tics, more movement tics. We ended up taking her to the hospital because I didn't know what was going on, and this poor kid's been going on for like 12 hours. They wouldn't give her anything because they said they didn't want her reliant on medication. So that was a bit hard. The hardest thing with Tourette's is you can't get a diagnosis unless you have 2 or more motor tics, 1 or more vocal tic, and you need to have that consistently for 12 months before you can get a diagnosis. So we had to go 12 months of basically seeing GPs, seeing doctors, you know, and no one has answers. So we were then at the point where, what do we do? The paediatrician said, yep, run tests. She's had sleep tests, she's had MRI, she's had ECGs. They've all come back non-seizure activities. So that also brings us to the FND. So Tourette's we can live with. I mean, it's hard, but we can live with it. The FND is what is really, really hard. So FND is called functional neurological disorder. So basically what happens is Chloe's brain gets overstimulated.
What are you doing?
And it shuts down. So it can happen when she's ticking, even if she's not ticking. It's kind of like a computer. So you've got too many tabs open and you just switch it off and it shuts down. So if Chloe's standing, she'll just drop to the floor. Yep, so she will, sometimes, most of the time she can't feel an FND coming. It just happens. So if we're walking the street, she will just drop. And she will literally hit her head because she has no, we call it a paralyzing tic because she is fully conscious, but she can't speak and she can't move and she can't see. So she can hear everyone talking around her, but she can't do anything about it. So one of the biggest triggers for her FNDs is heat. So if she's overstimulated and overheated, she'll have FNDs. She has, every time she has a shower, she'll go down in the shower. So we've got a shower chair in the shower because guaranteed she can go down. Now the FNDs are very similar to her tics. So her tics can be set off by loud noises, crowds of people, her emotions, her feelings, flashing lights, all those sort of things, which then triggers off the FND as well. Now, we've also bought her a wheelchair, so then when she has the FND, we just put her in the recovery position and we just wait for it to come to. So it's not, and this is where she's had a lot of the scans done because they look like absent seizures, but they're not seizures. There's no seizure activity, so therefore she can't take seizure medication. So there is no cure and there is no medication. So nothing can fix this. So now we're at the point of she's now had this for 4 years. And the only support that Chloe has is me and her dad. NDIS has declined her 3 times. They do not class this as a lifelong condition. Even though we have a neurologist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a neurologist, a neuropsychiatrist, pediatrician, GP, all stating that it is a incurable disorder. Sit down. It is an incurable disorder and there is no cure. So everything is coming out of our pockets. So just as an idea, her neurologist is $850 a visit, and that's about 20 minutes. It's in Perth, and it's not covered by Medicare, and it's not covered by private health. So Medicare covers about 200 of it, about 200. Same with her psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is $980 for a session.
Wow!
OTs, yeah, OTs are about, at the moment, her OT is $198. Again, the chiropractor costs us about $70 a session. That's why we only go fortnightly. I would love for her to be able to go to the chiro weekly because she needs it. Even go to a massager that can do a deep tissue massage. We can't afford it. And this is why we're fighting NDIS. But they keep coming back saying that we haven't exceeded all medical treatment options. There is no medical treatment options for an incurable neurological disorder. So how can we get the treatments for something that there's no cure for? So that's where we're at. Like I said, we've been declined 3 times. We're still fighting. Obviously, we're trying to spread the awareness out there. I don't know much about the ins and outs of NDIS. We've gone to advocacy. I'm a support worker. So I can see what funding could be available. And I'm like, even if she can get a support worker, you know, just to take her out. She's 20 years old. She doesn't want to be hanging around with her mum. You know, she's at this point now where she's like, I've got no friends. I've got no friends and I can't go anywhere by myself. You know, she can't go to the movies unless she's got someone with her. She can't just go to the shopping centre, you know. So it's just at the point where her depression is now going downhill because it's like, well, what is there? Like, she wants to fight and she wants to continue, but she's so exhausted that she's like, why won't they help me? So, you okay?
Yeah.
The other thing that we deal with her Tourette's and her tic is called a tic attack. Now, the tic attacks are brutal, and thankfully, they don't happen very, very often. Now, they look like full-on grand mild seizures. They are not. So when we post a lot of those videos, people are like, oh, you can't restrain her. And I'm like, it's a tic attack, it's not a seizure. What you've got to understand is with her tics, she will punch herself, like full-on punch herself. And she needs to actually have that physical contact. So even though you want to restrain her to stop her from hurting herself, you also got to let her hit to be able to release it at the same time. So it's being there. She's given me blood noses. She's cut my lip, because the only way that I can seem to help her is I sit behind her and I hold her and I take the blunt of her, and it's literally arching her back, throwing her head, and she's crying and she's exhausted. We have been given rescue meds for that. However, we have to be very, very careful because they can affect the respiratory part of your body. So because it is a very strong sedative. Thankfully, it does kick in pretty quick. So within about 20 minutes, where our tic attacks have gone down for sometimes from 2 hours to like 20, 25 minutes. So that is good. However, it does leave her for the next 3-4 days completely and utterly exhausted. Like, she sleeps. I've got to keep checking on her, make sure that she's actually still breathing. So we're quite thankful that those tic attacks don't happen as much. I think Chloe's biggest thing as well, like, she loves going shopping. And as much as we get a lot of stares, we get a lot of, you know, because I suppose especially when she swears, we get a lot of people that go, oh, you know, tutting at us and, you know, telling us, oh, you know, why is she swearing? And I'm like, you can tell that there's something there. It's not that she's just going up to you and swearing at you. She's got movements and she's swearing at the same time. So we were at a restaurant or a cafe having something to eat. This is what she was doing. People were, you know, staring at her. She was telling them to F off, and, you know, they wanted to, you know, report her. They wanted the restaurant to kick us out. You know, thankfully she has a very, very, very supportive younger little sister who's only 9 years at the moment. She pushed her chair, she stood up, she turned to these ladies and she's like, my sister has Tourette's, you know. And they're like, oh. And she goes, yeah, so mind your business.
Go, Chrissy. Good on her.
Yeah. So then Chrissy sat down. She gave Chloe a chip, knowing damn well that Chloe was going to throw the chips at the people. And Chloe did.
Go, Chrissy.
Yeah.
She's a legend.
So yeah, I mean, we have fun with her tics. You know,
Pineapples.
I don't know where bitches and pineapples came from. No idea. But she, you know, we laugh with her because Chloe, you know, if there's a difference with laughing at her and then laughing with her, you know, and it's just trying to find that fine line of go, okay, now you're getting way too overstimulated. And you can kind of tell with the tics, like her tics at the moment, even though they're strong, but then when you see them get like really rigid, then you know, okay, it's now time to go, right, we need to stop, we need to breathe, we need to do something to try and calm these tics down. Otherwise it can then escalate into a tic attack, and that's what we don't want. So we're still learning about this condition. We're still, you know, we don't know everything. A lot of doctors don't know a lot of things. We're with a good neurologist at the moment. but it's still a long journey. I think Chloe's main goals, what's your main goal for the future that you want?
To be able to not stop them, but to be able to control my Tourette's more and be able to actually work.
Yeah. So she wants to be able to manage them to a point where, you know, she can actually go into society and have a job. You know, that was another thing. We're trying to get her on the disability pension, but it's income tested until you're 21. So, and because my husband is FIFO, his class is earning way too much money. So, we're not able to get that until she's 21. So we can reapply for the disability pension once she's 21.
Yeah, when is it?
August.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the last 4 years, everything's literally come out of our pocket. And even when she does get the disability pension, it's literally going to be paying medical bills.
Yeah.
You know, she's not going to have any money to,
Live.
live. Like her goal, she'd love to like move out and live with a friend or live with friends or, work, go to TAFE, drive a car, all those things that, we take as granted as we're 20 and stuff like that. She can't do. The one thing she does enjoy that is different to a lot of other people that has Tourette's is alcohol suppresses the tics. So she is able to go out with friends, like out on the town and have a few drinks. Like we went to the strippers, which was amazing. It was so much fun. And she had a lot to drink and it was great. I was just sitting there watching her be a normal person, interacting with people her age and being able to do something that she can't normally do. That, however, because it's all suppressed in those hours, the next day and the day after that is worse because it comes back with a vengeance. Like she had after that night, the next day, she probably had about 62 FNDs. So one after the other. Her ticking, she had like 2 tick attacks. Obviously one we gave her rescue meds, but the next one we couldn't give her any more rescue meds. And it literally just had to ride it out. So that's not sustainable, and nor is alcohol sustainable. It's not something that she can live like. Maybe once in a blue moon's great, but she also knows the repercussions if she does go out. So, that pretty much sums it up. Hey? Yeah?
Yeah.
You got anything else to add to it?
I can't talk.
You can't talk.
Ah!
So yes, does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Can I ask Chloe why she's wearing the earmuffs?
Because sudden loud noises tends to set me off even worse. Even specific sounds can set me off. So I just wear them all the time as a muffler.
Yeah. So they're noise cancelling headphones.
Yeah.
Obviously it'd be good to get we only got the cheap brand, even though it's not that cheap, it still costs us like $200. But, to get really, really good ones, you're looking at $1,000. Same with I know there's glasses that you can get for epilepsy. I know if there's like flashing lights, there's a certain lens that you can have. Again, we can't really afford that at the moment. And I think that's the hardest thing as a parent is you want to give your child the best or what they're capable of doing or giving them the best that they can to live life. And the fact that the only thing that's stopping us from giving her that is money. And we don't want to be these people to go, give us money, we need money for this, we need money for that. It's like, that's what NDIS is for. They are there to provide a service for people with a disability for lifelong, condition where she's not getting that. So that's our fight.
It sucks. I literally went to the chiro yesterday.
Yeah, so we might need to, but
Get your hands off me. I'll bite you. Sorry,
it's okay.
bite you.
Please don't. Yes.
What about at night time? Is she able to sleep through the night?
Yes. So they don't tick in their sleep. So once your brain shuts down and you're asleep, she sleeps through. It's only getting to sleep. So Chloe's on 2 medications, Collidine and Respirodol. They both have mild sedatives in them, and that is to obviously help her, relax. But once she's asleep, she's fine. She can sleep throughout, and that's perfectly fine.
However, in saying that, there will be times where I will wake up ticking in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so the ticks will wake her up, and then she's got to obviously try and calm herself down to get back to sleep. So yeah, that's pretty much.
So like I'll have a bad dream, or I'll have a dream where I'm ticking, and then I'll wake up and I start ticking.
Yeah.
Which is very annoying. Annoying! I'm not annoying.
No. Yes.
The powers that be that won't give you the NDIS, have they seen Chloe? Do they come? They don't want to know.
It's all telephone appointments.
Would you like to send them this video? I'm sure.
They don't care.
No.
Send them in emails. I've sent the tick attacks in emails. She doesn't tick, even though the GP and the neurologist have all filled out the paperwork and they've ticked everything. They've ticked that she's not able to function. She needs 24-hour care. That's the thing. She needs 24-hour care, and they've written that on there. This disability is debilitating, and she needs 24-hour care, and they've still declined it. The only other thing that we haven't got that may help us is a OT assessment. But again, that's over $3,000.
What?
So at the moment, once we've got her birthday out of the way, because she is turning 21. So for her 21st, we're giving her a ball because she wasn't able to experience a school ball. So she wants to go ball gown shopping. She wants to have the whole, wearing a big, beautiful, we've got money set aside for that, which we're looking at it going, oh, we could use that for this medical, we could use it for that. But we will after her 21st, we will then, restart saving, and then, so NDIS might not happen for another year and a half, like it really depends. I don't know if we should reapply for NDIS until we have that OT assessment. But unfortunately, like I said, it's over $3,000. So, and we can't expect people to, donate, and it just, it feels hard as well. It's pride, I guess, as well, to go, help pay for this, help pay for that. It's like, as a parent, that's our job. Like, we're supposed to be able to do that.
We had some amazing fans on TikTok.
Loz
being one of them, and another who will donate stuff and will send stuff. Loz gave me an amazing weighted blanket that I absolutely love. It helps me with my sleep.
Yeah, she uses it every night to sleep. Yeah. So the weighted blanket was a godsend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had another lady who had put together a My Cause where people could donate money, and someone had actually got on and had posted saying that we were a scammer.
Yeah, so they got all their that made it a little bit hard. But with those donations was towards her 21st, so we're happy to say we got about $2,500 for her birthday. So that's that is, but it's quite expensive because she wants to stay in a hotel room, and she wants someone to come and do their hair and makeup, and then it's food, so it all adds up, and it's going to be an amazing night for her.
Yeah. Where are you having it?
Well, we were going to look at the Lord Forest, but that was the food that they supplied. The food wasn't something that I would like, so we're going to actually look at the Prince. Because I know I've eaten there a few times. Wow! And they've got the rooms upstairs and that as well. But so's, the Rose as well? So yeah. Lighthouse. Yeah, there was another one. So we're going to ring.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
So we're going to ring them today and book in an actual location. So that'll be That'll be good. And then
It's
so,
an owl.
and then Sunday we're going to go dress shopping, aren't we?
Yes.
To have a look at a dress.
Owl.
So that would be cool. Oh, it is an owl.
Owl. Who?
But we're a family of 5, so I've got 2 other girls. I've got a 16-year-old who is my absolute rock.
She's autistic.
She's not. We don't. She's very, very particular with things. Like she may have some sort of autism, but
She's autistic.
but yeah, she's amazing. Like
She likes bugs.
She is my rock. Yeah, she does like bugs. Yeah, she likes bugs.
I don't like bugs.
Not a lot of people do. And then we've got my 9-year-old. And you know,
She's like a little bull terrier.
she is. She's very, very protective. At the same, like, even though she knows what Chloe goes through, like, Kristen, thank you. So Kristen will know Chloe's ticking, but forgets, because she's only 9, she's still a child. So she'll get in between and Chloe will hit her, you know, and then obviously it hurts. So I was like, you know, hang on, Chloe, I need to tend to Kristen, give her cuddles, and Chloe's crying. She's like, I'm sorry. You know, Kristen's like, it's okay, it was my fault.
Move.
So like those ones. Now as you can see, most of Chloe's tics are all upper body. So most of it affects her upper body. Every now and then she'll kick out a leg, but most of it is all upper body.
Just hands.
Where a lot of people, and this is with Tourette's, a lot of people go, oh, she's not doing what this person does that's got Tourette's. So Tourette's is like a fingerprint, just like any other disability. It's an umbrella. So it affects everybody different because everybody's brain is different. So Chloe's tics will be different to someone else that's got Tourette's, be different to their tics. They might have similar tics and they may say similar phrases because they may have echolalia as well.
Wow, what?
And that is, like I said, tics are subjective.
Wow.
So if they hear something, they'll repeat it. And that's why Chloe can't watch anyone on TikTok that has Tourette's because it sets her off. Instantly sets her off. That's why I have the platform. I advocate for her and we do the live videos. But when people go, oh, I've got Tourette's as well, can I get in the box? I'm like, no, because you're going to set Chloe off. And that's why I say Chloe doesn't know these other people, these famous people on TikTok that do have Tourette's. So she might say something because someone said it to her.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that's what she's thinking, and it's not intrusive thoughts. It's basically she'll see something and she'll say it, and it does get her into a little bit of trouble sometimes, especially when we are out in public. She'll say something to someone, not realizing that she may be offensive because it just comes out.
Wow. Wow.
It's like
It's like a sneeze. You know how you can't exactly control a sneeze. It's gonna come out one way or another, and if you try to suppress it, it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah. And so Chloe can feel the tics coming, and this is where we've got to work with the OT and a psychiatrist to be able to sense those feelings and then to be able to redirect the tics. So obviously that's where a lot of work's got to come into with being able to manage her tics and her Tourette's. But yeah.
Don't look at me.
Okay. But like I said, sometimes her tics are really, really funny, and like she has so much fun with her tics sometimes. And sometimes, you know,
Pineapples.
there's not a funny side to Tourette's, and that's a lot of misconception, especially with the younger generation. They're like, oh my God, I want Tourette's because I can swear in front, you know, and I won't get in trouble. What people don't realise is it's not just coprolalia and swearing. It's actually, known fact, is only 10% of people with Tourette's has coprolalia, which is the swearing tic. Only 10%.
I pull muscles in my neck all the time, and it really hurts.
Yeah, it's very painful. She also gets what's called dystonia, like so her hands will lock, her neck locks, her jaw locks. So sometimes we're on live and her jaw will lock, and I've just turned the camera away because then she'll start drooling and she just has to wait until that tick stops and locks it. The most scariest tick that she's ever had is the breathing tick. That is the most scariest thing of my absolute life and scared the crap out of her. So her brain is telling her that she can't breathe. So her brain is saying you can't breathe and she won't take a breath. To the point where she's looking at me, go like, I need help. And I'm like, it's okay, I'm right here. You're just gonna pass out. As soon as you pass out, you will breathe. It'll be okay. And then watching your kids' eyes roll in the back of their head until they pass out. Ah! And then she starts breathing. And then obviously her brain kicks in and she'll breathe. That is, and thankfully, touch wood, that hasn't been a very common tick. That one does come and go as well. So thankfully, I don't think we've had that one for about at least 4 or 5 months. So hopefully I haven't triggered
Fingers
that.
crossed.
Yeah.
Don't jinx it.
No, I won't. Is there any other questions?
Can I just ask, have you tried applying for a healthcare card for her? My son had all sorts of problems, or he's still
Yep.
here. But when he turned 19, I couldn't do anything for him before that. I earned too much.
Yeah.
But when he turned 19, I was able to apply for a healthcare card for him,
Okay.
and they gave it to him. They actually gave him a pension card,
Oh.
disability pension card.
Yeah.
He's 31 now. He doesn't get disability. He never
Yeah.
could, but he's got the card.
The card.
And that helps with prescriptions, especially specialist bills.
Ah,
And
okay.
even though I was earning too much for him to get anything,
Yep.
yes, they gave him
Oh,
a
what the
healthcare
fuck?
card. They said he had to wait till he was 19.
Okay.
And yes, you've got things
Oh,
like
what a
your
lovely
specialist
lady.
bills. You get up to a safety net, $600 or $800 in differences.
Yep.
What's a lovely
Medicare
lady?
pays nearly everything after that.
Okay.
Have
a
And is that
flower.
through Centrelink?
Have a
Healthcare?
flower.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, have a
And
flower.
my daughter's got one as well, and
Yep.
she's under a neurologist all the time, so
Yeah.
she has to
Flower.
get through that first few months
Yep.
Loz.
in doctor's bill
Wow.
differences before she gets up to the safety net, and then it's okay for the rest of the year. So
Yeah. Awesome. All right, I'll
it's
go.
worth looking
Yeah. Oh,
into.
absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. See, when I've gone to Centrelink, they've never mentioned anything like a healthcare card, or
No,
I just
they won't.
assume you got the healthcare card if you get the pension. I didn't realise it's.
You can get one without getting
Without-
any benefits.
Ah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Which I guess then isn't a benefit in itself, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It would. Yeah.
I didn't know you could get it without.
Yeah. No, I didn't know.
I'll write a letter of support as well.
Yeah.
They're not stupid.
No, they're not, are they?
tell you anything, do they?
No.
Talking about fingerprints and umbrellas, there was a show Lauren and I watched, sorry Loz and I watched together, and it was a singing show. And this young man had Tourette's.
Yep.
And when he sang, he didn't.
Oh, the voice, yeah.
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 And I found
Yep.
that quite interesting.
Yeah.
He could sing. Chloe, maybe that, oh, she's not.
No, she can still hear you.
Okay, there's something, maybe she.
Yep,
could-
she loves singing. Yep, she loves
Do you
singing.
find that she doesn't have the tics as much if she's singing?
We find that if she's already ticking, she finds it hard to
Calm down.
calm down.
Yeah.
But if we put songs on and she's already singing and then a trigger happens, it won't set her off because she's singing. But if she's already ticking, then it's hard for her to calm down enough to sing. She'll end up swearing instead. But yeah, if we're already doing karaoke or something and Kristen screams or drops a pot and a loud noise, it doesn't set her off because her brain is so focused on something else. And that's what we try to do as well, is we try to distract her. So when she's starting to tick or she gets little movements, she actually has a therapy bird called Zeus. And
My baby.
yes, because he's amazing. He actually alerts us when she goes down, so he will high-pitched squawk, and his high-pitched squawk doesn't set her off. So, which is really, really strange. That's one thing that doesn't, now and then if it's right in her ear, it'll like a little bit, but most of the time, he really calms her down. So, and she loves diamond art as well. So once she's actually calm to the point where they're like really like calmer than this, she'll then be able to concentrate and really distract herself, and that's when the tics will subside. And then she can go 2, 3, 4 hours without ticking, and then something will set it off, and she will then tick anywhere between 15 minutes to 3 hours. So it.
Do you want to tell them about the candles they're doing?
Oh yes, so the Chloe and her sister have decided to obviously make their own little bit of money, and they've got a candle business. So they're making their own candles. So they're probably about that big. And what you do is you pick a wrap. So we've got a friend that designs wraps. The girls will put the wrap on the candle, and then obviously you pick your scent and your colour, and you get a candle. So they're $35 for a candle. And they've got a page on Facebook, which is Kersey Sisters. So Kersey is the German word for candle, because my mum was German.
What's it called, sorry?
Kersey Sisters.
Can you spell that?
So Kerze.
I'll send the link out.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
Were there any more questions?
girls? I think my biggest feeling for Chloe is the exhaustion. It must just be horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel for you, girl.
Yeah.
Thanks
it's-
so much,
Yeah,
to both
thank
of you
you.
for coming.
Yeah, no,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you. Thank
It's,
you for having us. We appreciate
A
it.
different journey,
Yeah.
and I guess one that we can be thankful we don't have.
Yeah.